Manchester United 4-4 Bournemouth. The complete story of an incredible night at Old Trafford. Welcome back to United Daily Updates, your most trusted source for everything Manchester United. If you have not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, now is the moment to do it. We bring you instant match reactions, detailed tactical analysis, and honest opinions on every game. No fake positivity. No unnecessary negativity. Just real honest content from real United fans. Hit that subscribe button right now and join our amazing community of Red Devil supporters from around the world. What a night we just witnessed at Old Trafford. Manchester United drew 4-4 with Bournemouth in what can only be described as one of the most chaotic, dramatic, and entertaining games of the entire Premier League season. 8 goals. Multiple comebacks. Defensive disasters. Attacking brilliance. Drama until the final whistle. And two football legends, Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher, giving their reactions that you absolutely need to hear. This is going to be a deep dive into everything that happened, what it means, and where United go from here. The hook. A night nobody will forget. Imagine you are a Manchester United fan. You arrive at Old Trafford hoping for 3 points against Bournemouth, a team you should beat at home. The game starts and United look incredible. Creating chances. Dominating possession. Playing with energy and purpose. Everything looks perfect. You are dreaming of a comfortable win. Then the chaos begins. Goals flying in at both ends. United go ahead. Bournemouth equalize. United score again. Bournemouth score again. United go 3-2 up. Surely that is it? No. Bournemouth equalize at 3-3. United score again to make it 4-3. Now surely that is it? No. Bournemouth score again in the dying minutes. Final score 4-4. 8 goals. 2 points dropped. But somehow, you are not even angry. How is that possible? How can you drop 2 points from being 3-2 up at home and not be furious? Because you were entertained. Because you saw your team attack with purpose and passion. Because you witnessed proper Manchester United football even if the result was not what you wanted. That is exactly what happened last night. And Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher, two legends of the game, both praised United's performance despite the disappointing result. This is the story of that incredible night. Everything that happened. Everything that was said. And everything it means for Manchester United season. The match statistics that tell the story. Before we get into what Neville and Carragher said, let me share the statistics from this game because the numbers are absolutely wild. Manchester United had 17 shots in the first half alone. 17. That is the most by any Premier League team in the first 45 minutes of a game in the entire season so far. Not just this week or this month. The entire season. That shows total domination. United were creating chance after chance after chance. Both teams scored 4 goals each. 8 goals in total. In modern football where games often end 1-0 or 2-1, 8 goals is extraordinary. It shows how open the game was. How both teams committed to attacking. How entertainment was delivered in bucket loads. United should have been ahead by more at halftime. They were only 2-1 up despite creating so many chances. That would come back to haunt them in the second half. Clinical finishing was missing even though chance creation was excellent. Bournemouth nearly won it at the death. David Brooks was denied twice by Sen Lamens in stoppage time. If either of those chances goes in, Bournemouth walk away with all 3 points. United were that close to losing after being ahead multiple times. The fine margins of football. These statistics paint a picture of a completely crazy game. Attack after attack. Goal after goal. Drama after drama. No wonder both Neville and Carragher had so much to say about it. Gary Neville's complete reaction. Let me start with Gary Neville because his reaction tells you so much about this game and what United fans should take from it. Neville was actually at Old Trafford watching the match live. He brought his 2 daughters to the game. And his verdict after witnessing this chaos? He loved it. Not the result obviously. Nobody loves drawing 4-4 at home. But the performance. The entertainment. The style of play. All of it. Neville began by comparing this game to recent matches against Everton and West Ham. And he did not hold back about those performances. After the Everton game, Neville was really critical. United kept 3 at the back against 10 men and showed no urgency. No throwing the kitchen sink at the opposition. It was bland. Boring. Unacceptable. The West Ham game was the same. United let large parts of the match just drift by. No intensity. No purpose. Just going through the motions. Those performances deserved all the criticism they received. They were not good enough for Manchester United. But last night against Bournemouth? Completely different. The complete and utter opposite according to Neville. And he meant that as high praise. United played with real intent. They played the ball forward quickly and purposefully. They played at full pace from the first minute to the last. This was aggressive attacking football. This was entertainment. This was Manchester United actually looking like Manchester United. Neville specifically highlighted what happened when United went 3-2 down early in the second half. Many managers would panic. Many managers would become defensive. Many managers would try to hold on to what they have. Not Ruben Amorim. He made changes. He switched the formation to 4-4-2. He got attacking players on the pitch. He went for the win. And you know what Neville said about that? Forget the system. That is what he said. Forget the system. Amorim did the right thing. He got the right players on the pitch and United became a massive threat. That tactical flexibility. That willingness to adapt and change based on the game situation. That is what good managers do. And Neville praised Amorim for it. The second half was absolute mayhem. That is the exact word Neville used. Mayhem. Chaos. Goals flying in. Both teams attacking. Nobody defending properly. Entertainment levels through the roof. And Neville could live with that all day long in terms of performance and standard. Here is something really important that Neville pointed out. After the Everton game, there were big boos from the Old Trafford crowd. After the West Ham game, big boos again. The fans were angry. Frustrated. Fed up with boring, uninspiring performances. But after this 4-4 draw, no big boos. There was disappointment, yes. Of course there was. United dropped 2 points they should have secured. But there was no anger. No fury. No toxic atmosphere. Why not? Because the fans appreciated the effort. They appreciated the entertainment. They appreciated seeing their team actually try to win the game by attacking and creating chances. That is what they pay their money to see. Not boring safe football that gets a 1-0 win. They want entertainment. They want excitement. They want to feel something when watching their team. Neville said something that will stick with everyone who heard it. A lot of fans stayed in the stadium after the final whistle to applaud the team. Think about that for a moment. Manchester United just drew 4-4 at home. They were 3-2 up and let it slip. They conceded 4 goals at home to Bournemouth. And fans stayed to clap them off the pitch. That tells you everything about the performance and how it was received. Then Neville made it personal and relatable. He said his 2 daughters came to the game with him. And they will be thrilled walking back from Old Trafford. They will not be happy United did not win. But they will have seen a great game of football. They will have been entertained. They will remember this night. And that is what you come to Old Trafford for. Entertainment. Excitement. Drama. Goals. Passion. This is such a crucial point about Manchester United as a football club. Yes, results matter. Yes, winning trophies matters. Yes, finishing in the top 4 matters. But so does the style of play. So does entertainment. So does giving fans something to cheer about and remember. You cannot just win ugly every week and expect fans to be happy. They want to win in style. They want to be entertained while winning. Neville wrapped up by saying he enjoyed what he saw from those red shirts last night. Coming from someone who is usually critical of modern United, that is significant praise. He acknowledged the defensive problems. With Harry Maguire, Matthijs de Ligt, and Lisandro Martinez all out injured, United had young inexperienced defenders playing. A defense that clearly was not going to keep clean sheets. In fact, Neville said you probably knew before the game that United would need to score 4 goals to win. And 4 was not enough. They needed 5. That is damning about the defensive issues but also complimentary about the attacking threat United posed all night. Jamie Carragher calls it the best performance under Amorim. Now let me tell you what Jamie Carragher said because his reaction was even more enthusiastic than Neville's in some ways. Carragher is a Liverpool legend. He spent his entire career at Liverpool. He is not someone who naturally praises Manchester United. So when he says something positive about United, you know it is genuine. You know he really means it. And what he said last night was glowing. This is the best I have seen Manchester United play under Ruben Amorim. That is a direct quote from Carragher. The best performance. Not just good. Not just decent. The best. Maybe, he said, going back to the first game of the season against Arsenal. That is high praise. Carragher was particularly impressed with the first half. United were fantastic in those opening 25 to 30 minutes according to him. And then he made a comparison that will thrill every United fan. He said it was almost a throwback to Sir Alex Ferguson's teams. Let that sink in for a moment. Jamie Carragher, Liverpool legend, comparing Manchester United to Sir Alex Ferguson's great teams. That does not happen often. That does not happen unless something special is happening on the pitch. What did Carragher see that reminded him of Ferguson's United? Fast attacking football. Energetic players running all over the pitch. People making forward runs constantly. Positive play, always looking to go forward, never sideways or backwards. Being on the front foot, putting opponents under pressure. Winning the ball back early, high up the pitch. All the hallmarks of classic Manchester United football. Carragher highlighted that United had 17 shots in the first half. He pointed out that is the most by any Premier League team in the first 45 minutes of a game this entire season. That statistic backs up what he was seeing with his eyes. Total attacking dominance. Chance after chance being created. Bournemouth could not live with United's intensity and quality. Of course, being the analyst he is, Carragher also highlighted the problems. Clean sheets are a big issue for Manchester United. He said they had problems at both ends of the pitch last season. This season, the attack has clearly improved. The goals are coming. The chances are being created. United are dangerous going forward. But defensively they remain vulnerable. Too many mistakes. Too many goals conceded. You cannot win titles without a solid defense. Carragher pointed out that United had a lot of young defenders playing last night. That made things difficult. He said from his own experience as a former defender that when you make a mistake as a young defender, more often than not it ends up in the back of your net. That is just the reality of football. Young players make errors. Experienced players make fewer errors. United's young defenders made errors and Bournemouth punished them. But here is what Carragher emphasized, and this is really important. Even though the game ended 4-4, even though Bournemouth should have won it at the end with those David Brooks chances, Manchester United were by far the better team overall. That is key context. The scoreline makes it look like an even game. Two teams trading punches. But actually United dominated. They created more chances. They controlled more of the game. They were simply the better side even though they did not get all 3 points. Then Carragher said something that every United fan needed to hear. This was the first time in a long time, and certainly under Amorim, that he felt like he was watching how Manchester United should be. That is a powerful statement. How United should be. What the club is supposed to represent. What the fans expect to see. He described wave after wave of attacks. Counter-attacks coming at pace. The opposition feeling like they are getting sucked back into their box in front of the Stretford end. Teams feeling like they cannot get out. Cannot breathe. Cannot escape the constant pressure. That is Old Trafford at its best. That is when the ground becomes a fortress. When opponents are scared. When the crowd is roaring the team forward. For years that has been missing from Old Trafford. The ground has become a place where opponents are comfortable. Where they come and get results. Where the atmosphere is flat and the football is boring. But last night, for one night, it returned. The intensity. The atmosphere. The pressure. The entertainment. Everything that makes Old Trafford special came back. Why United fans did not boo despite dropping points. This is one of the most fascinating aspects of last night's game. Manchester United dropped 2 points at home. They were 3-2 up. They should have won comfortably. They ended up drawing 4-4, having conceded goals they should not have conceded. By all logic, the fans should have been furious. But they were not. There were no boos ringing around Old Trafford at the final whistle. No angry chants. No fans leaving early in disgust. Instead, as Gary Neville pointed out, many fans stayed in their seats to applaud the players off the pitch. Why? Because entertainment matters. Because effort matters. Because style matters. United fans are sophisticated. They understand football. They know the difference between losing because you did not try and losing despite giving everything. Last night was the latter. Compare last night to the Everton game. United lost 2-1 at home to a team with 10 men. The performance was awful. Boring. No urgency even when playing against 10 men for half the game. No creativity. No spark. Nothing. That deserved the boos it received. Fans were right to be angry because the team did not try. Did not fight. Did not show any ambition. The West Ham game was similar. A 1-1 draw at home where United were passive and let the game drift by without ever really looking like winning it. Again, a poor, uninspiring performance that deserved criticism. Fans booed because they saw their team not putting in maximum effort. But last night was completely different. United attacked from minute one. They created chance after chance. They scored 4 goals at home. They never stopped trying to win even when they went behind. They showed passion and commitment and desire. Yes, they made defensive mistakes. Yes, they should have won. But they tried. They gave everything. They entertained the crowd. That is why fans stayed to applaud. They appreciated the effort even though the result was disappointing. They could live with drawing 4-4 if it came from a performance like that. They cannot live with losing 2-1 to Everton with 10 men because of a boring, cautious performance. This shows what United fans truly value. They do not just want results at any cost. They want to see their team play exciting attacking football. They want to be entertained. They want to feel proud of the way their team plays. If you give them that, they will support you even when results do not go your way. But if you bore them with cautious negative football, they will turn on you even if you are winning. Ruben Amorim's tactical flexibility praised. One aspect of last night's game that both Neville and Carragher highlighted was Ruben Amorim's tactical flexibility. This is something United fans have been crying out for all season. Amorim has been very wedded to his 3-4-2-1 formation. He brought it from Sporting Lisbon. He has used it in almost every game. Even when it has not been working, even when players do not fit the system, he has stuck with it. That stubbornness has frustrated many people. But last night showed a different side of Amorim. When United went 3-2 down early in the second half, he did not panic. He did not stick rigidly to his system hoping it would magically start working. He adapted. He changed. He made brave decisions. Amorim switched from 3-4-2-1 to 4-4-2. He brought on attacking players. He told his team to go for it. To attack. To win the game rather than settle for a draw. That took courage. That took tactical intelligence. That took flexibility. And it worked. United became a massive threat after that change. They scored to go 3-3. Then scored again to go 4-3 up. They created more chances. They had Bournemouth pinned back. Yes, they conceded again to make it 4-4. But the attacking intent and quality after the formation change was clear. Gary Neville specifically said forget the system. That is important. Neville was not praising Amorim for choosing the right formation. He was praising him for being willing to change. For getting the right players on the pitch regardless of what formation that required. For prioritizing winning over maintaining tactical purity. This is what good managers do. They adapt. They read the game. They make changes that give their team the best chance to win. They do not stick with something that is not working just because it is their preferred way of playing. Amorim showed last night that he can do this. That he can be flexible when needed. This is a really positive sign for the future. If Amorim is willing to change formations mid-game, if he is willing to try different approaches when circumstances require it, then United fans can have hope. The stubbornness that has frustrated people might not be as rigid as feared. There is pragmatism underneath the idealism. The question now is, will Amorim carry this flexibility forward? Will he use different formations in different games based on opposition and available players? Or was last night a one-off forced by the game situation? Time will tell. But at least we know he is capable of adapting when he needs to. The defensive problems that cannot be hidden. While the attacking play and entertainment value deserve celebration, we cannot ignore the giant elephant in the room. Manchester United conceded 4 goals at home to Bournemouth. 4. That is simply not acceptable for a club of United's stature and ambitions. Gary Neville acknowledged this in his reaction. He said before the game you probably knew United would need to score 4 to win because the defence did not look like it would keep a clean sheet. With De Ligt, Maguire, and Martinez all out injured, United had young inexperienced defenders playing. Mistakes were inevitable. But this is not just about one game or one set of circumstances. United have been defensively poor all season. They concede too many goals. They make too many individual errors. They lack organisation and communication as a defensive unit. These are systematic issues, not just bad luck. Jamie Carragher emphasised that clean sheets are a big problem for Manchester United. Last season they had issues at both ends of the pitch. Not scoring enough and conceding too many. This season the attack has improved significantly. Goals are coming. Chances are being created. But the defence remains as vulnerable as ever. Young defenders were partly to blame last night. As Carragher said from his own experience, when young defenders make mistakes, those mistakes usually end up in the back of the net. That happened multiple times last night. Positional errors. Poor communication. Hesitation. All the things young players do because they lack experience. But United also had experienced players out there who made errors. Bruno Fernandes playing in midfield lost the ball in dangerous areas. Casemiro was caught out of position multiple times. Even the wing-backs left gaps that Bournemouth exploited. The defensive problems spread across the entire team, not just the young centre-backs. The good news is that Martinez, Maguire, and De Ligt will return from injury eventually. That should strengthen the defence. Having experienced defenders who know how to organise a backline will help. But United also need to improve their defensive structure and discipline as a team. Individual quality alone will not solve the problem. You cannot challenge for major trophies if you concede 4 goals at home to Bournemouth. You cannot finish in the top 4 if you keep leaking goals every week. The defence needs fixing. That is absolutely critical going forward. The comparison to Sir Alex Ferguson's teams. One of the most significant things Jamie Carragher said was comparing United's performance to Sir Alex Ferguson's teams. This deserves its own section because it means so much to United fans. For over a decade now, Manchester United have been trying to recapture what they had under Ferguson. Different managers have tried different approaches. Louis van Gaal tried possession football. Jose Mourinho tried pragmatic winning football. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer tried counter-attacking football. Erik ten Hag tried controlled football. None of it worked. None of it felt like Manchester United. But last night, for at least one half of football, something clicked. United looked like United again. And Jamie Carragher, a Liverpool legend who watched Ferguson's teams dominate English football for years, recognised it. What are the hallmarks of Ferguson's United teams? Fast attacking football. Players running forward constantly. Taking risks. Playing with courage and confidence. Winning the ball back high up the pitch and breaking at pace. Being on the front foot, always looking to score the next goal. Making Old Trafford a fortress where opponents are scared and fans are excited. All of that was present last night. United attacked with speed and purpose. Players made runs beyond the striker. The ball was moved quickly from defence to attack. Chances were created in bunches. The crowd was roaring the team forward. It felt like vintage Manchester United. Ferguson always said that Manchester United should entertain. That winning was not enough if you bored people doing it. That fans pay good money and deserve to see exciting football. That philosophy has been lost in recent years. Managers have prioritized not losing over trying to win. Safety over excitement. Pragmatism over entertainment. Last night brought back that Ferguson philosophy. Yes, United conceded 4 goals. Yes, the defense was a mess. But the attacking play was thrilling. The entertainment was through the roof. Fans left having seen something special even though the result was not what they wanted. That is what Ferguson would have wanted. The question is, can United maintain this? Ferguson's teams played like that week after week, season after season. One good performance is not enough. Consistency is what matters. Can Amorim get his team to play like this regularly? Can they keep the defensive mistakes under control while maintaining the attacking flair? That is the challenge ahead. But at least now we know it is possible. We have seen proof that this group of players can play entertaining attacking football. The blueprint exists. Now it needs to be refined and repeated consistently. What Gary Neville said about his daughters. There was a really touching and insightful moment in Gary Neville's reaction when he talked about bringing his 2 daughters to the game. This tells you so much about what football is really about. Neville said his daughters will be thrilled walking back from Old Trafford despite United not winning. They will have seen a great game of football. 8 goals. Drama. Excitement. Entertainment. That is what you come to Old Trafford for. That is what makes kids fall in love with football and become lifelong fans. Imagine if Neville had brought his daughters to the Everton game instead. United losing 2-1 to 10 men with boring passive football. Would they have been thrilled? Would they be excited to come back? Probably not. They would have been bored. Confused why everyone was so upset. Not understanding what was special about Manchester United. But last night they saw goals. They saw their team attack and create chances. They saw drama and passion and entertainment. Even though United did not win, they saw something worth remembering. Something worth talking about at school. Something that makes them want to come back for more. This is how you create the next generation of fans. Not by winning ugly every week. Not by boring people with safe football. But by entertaining them. By giving them memories. By making them feel something. That is what football is supposed to do. Neville's point was that entertainment is critical at Manchester United. Yes, results matter. Yes, trophies matter. But you cannot sacrifice entertainment completely in pursuit of results. You need both. You need to win while playing exciting football. That is the United way. That is what the club's history and tradition demands. Last night United did not get the result. But they provided the entertainment. They gave fans and especially young fans something to remember. That has value. That matters. That is worth celebrating even in a draw. Why this performance gives hope for the future. Despite the disappointing result, last night's performance should give Manchester United fans genuine hope for the future. Let me explain why. First, the attacking play was excellent. United created 17 chances in the first half alone. They scored 4 goals. They looked dangerous every time they went forward. That attacking threat has been missing for years. Seeing it return is hugely encouraging. Second, the energy and intensity were there. United pressed high. They ran hard. They never stopped fighting even when they went behind. That mentality and work rate is essential. You cannot win anything without it. And United showed they have it. Third, Amorim demonstrated tactical flexibility. The willingness to change formation mid-game shows he is not as stubborn as feared. He can adapt when circumstances require it. That is a crucial quality for any manager. Fourth, young players showed they can contribute. Despite defensive mistakes, young defenders got valuable experience playing in a high-intensity Premier League game. They will learn from the errors and improve. That is how development works. Fifth, the fans responded positively. They stayed to applaud despite the draw. They appreciated the entertainment. They are willing to be patient if the team plays the right way. That creates a positive atmosphere which helps the team. Sixth, both Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher praised the performance. These are two of the most respected voices in English football. If they see progress and potential, there is probably something real there. The defensive issues are obviously concerning. For goals conceded at home cannot become a habit. But defensive organization can be improved. Communication can be worked on. Experienced players will return from injury. The defense can be fixed. What cannot easily be fixed is mentality and style of play. You either have a team that wants to attack and entertain or you do not. Last night proved United have that DNA. They have that desire to play exciting football. That is the foundation. Now they need to build on it by adding defensive solidity. If United can keep attacking like last night while tightening up at the back, they will win a lot of games. They will challenge for top 4. They will make Old Trafford difficult for opponents again. The potential is there. Last night proved it. The AFCON challenge that awaits. As thrilling as last night was, Manchester United now face a significant challenge. The Africa Cup of Nations is about to begin. United will lose several key players for potentially several weeks. This will test everything. Amad Diallo, Bryan Mbeumo, and Nasser Mazraoui are all heading to AFCON. 3 starters. 3 important players. All gone at the same time. That is a huge blow to the squad, especially given the lack of depth United have. Amad has been excellent as a left wing back. His energy and attacking threat down that flank will be badly missed. Mbeumo has been one of United's most dangerous attackers with 6 goals already this season. Losing his goal threat is massive. Mazraoui has been solid at the back in a 3 centre-back system. Without these 3, United will have to adapt. They will have to use different players. They might have to change formations. This is where Amorim's tactical flexibility will be tested. Can he get results without key players? Can he find solutions using squad players and youngsters? The good news is that last night showed United can create chances and score goals. Even without these 3 players, United should be able to attack effectively if they maintain the same intensity and purpose. The blueprint is there. The concern is the defense. With injuries already weakening the backline, losing more players makes things even harder. United will need to be very organized defensively during this period. They cannot afford to concede 4 goals regularly. This AFCON period will tell us a lot about United and Amorim. Can they maintain momentum without key players? Can they navigate this challenge and stay in the hunt for top 4? Or will this be the period where their season falls apart? If United can get through AFCON without too much damage, if they can keep winning or at least not losing, then the future looks bright. When the players return, United will have a stronger squad and real momentum. But if they collapse during this period, it could derail everything. What needs to happen next? So what does Manchester United need to do going forward based on what we learned last night? Let me lay out the priorities. First, maintain the attacking intensity. The energy and purpose United showed last night needs to become the standard. Every game. Every opponent. Home and away. That intensity cannot be a one-off. It needs to be consistent. Second, Fix the defensive organization. Work on communication between defenders. Work on positioning and shape. Work on not giving opponents easy chances. The attacking play is there. Now add defensive solidity to it. Third, keep the tactical flexibility. Do not go back to being rigid about one formation. Use different setups based on opposition and available players. Show that last night was not a fluke but a sign of Amorim's evolution as a manager. Fourth, manage the AFCON period smartly. Rotate when possible. Do not burn out the remaining players. Use youngsters when appropriate. Be pragmatic about which games to prioritize. Get through this period intact. Fifth, get injured players back fit. Martinez, Maguire, De Ligt. Get them healthy and back in the team. The defense desperately needs their experience and quality. Their return could transform United's defensive record. Sixth, build on the positive momentum. Fans are excited after last night despite the draw. Media are praising the performance. Use that positivity. Build on it. Make it the foundation for a strong second half of the season. Seventh, keep improving finishing. United created 17 chances in the first half but only scored twice. Clinical finishing would have made this a comfortable win. Work on being more ruthless in front of goal. Eighth, develop the young defenders. They made mistakes last night but they also showed promise. Keep giving them opportunities. Keep coaching them. They will improve with experience and become valuable squad members. If United do all of these things, they have a real chance of achieving their goals this season. Top 4 is possible. A trophy run is possible. Making Old Trafford a fortress again is possible. Last night showed what is possible when United play the right way. Final thoughts on an unforgettable night. Manchester United 4-4 Bournemouth will be remembered for years as one of the great entertaining games in Premier League history. 8 goals. Non-stop drama. Brilliant attacking play. Terrible defending. Everything that makes football the beautiful game. Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher both praised United's performance despite the disappointing result. Neville talked about entertainment being crucial at United. About his daughters being thrilled despite not getting the win. About fans staying to applaud because they appreciated the effort. Carragher compared United to Sir Alex Ferguson's teams. Called it the best performance under Amorim. Highlighted the wave after wave of attacks that made opponents feel like they could not breathe. This is what Manchester United should look like. The result was frustrating. 2 points dropped at home. Defensive errors leading to goals. A win that should have been comfortable ending in a draw. All legitimate criticisms that cannot be ignored. But the performance gave hope. Real genuine hope that United are heading in the right direction. That they can play exciting football again. That Old Trafford can be a place of entertainment and passion again. That this team has something special if they can harness it consistently. The challenge now is to maintain this level while fixing the defensive issues. To be entertaining while also being solid. To attack with purpose while defending with discipline. If United can achieve that balance, great things are possible. Thanks for reading and subscribe. Thank you so much for reading this comprehensive breakdown of Manchester United's incredible 4-4 draw with Bournemouth and the expert reactions from Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher. This is the kind of deep analysis you get only from United Daily Updates. If you have not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do it right now. We are your most trusted source for everything Manchester United. Match reactions within minutes of the final whistle. Tactical analysis breaking down what really happened. Transfer news and rumours. Everything you need as a United fan. We work hard every single day to bring you the best United content on YouTube. No clickbait. No nonsense. Just honest analysis from real fans who care about this club as much as you do. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Leave a comment below with your thoughts on last night's game. Were you entertained despite the draw? Do you agree with Neville and Carragher? What did you think of Amorim's tactics? Should United prioritise entertainment or results? I want to hear all your opinions. Share this article with other United fans who need to understand what the experts are saying about last night. Help us grow this community of passionate supporters. The more we grow, the better content we can create for you. Follow us on all social media platforms for even more United content throughout the week. Quick updates. Polls. Discussions. We are active everywhere keeping you informed about your club. Until the next match, keep believing in Manchester United. Keep supporting through the ups and downs. Last night showed what is possible when this team plays the right way. More nights like that are coming. The future is bright. Glory, glory, Man United.